Hi everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're working with Snowflake or you are already working with SQL as a data engineer, as a data analyst, or someone who loves clean SQL, then definitely this video is must watch for you. Today, I'm going to take you through with 6 powerful and often mostly used Snowflake SQL function which can save your time, simplify your query, and help you to write cleaner and more efficient code. So trust me, once you are going to start using these functions, you will wonder how you ever worked without them. So grab a coffee, open your Snowflake worksheet, and let's just practice with me. So the top functions which we are going to see for today is ILIKE, exclude, qualify, STRTOK, group by all, result scan. I'm sure some of you must be aware of this qualify group by all already. You might have seen so many LinkedIn blogs, so many Medium blogs, or probably some of the other YouTube channels, some of the YouTube videos. Okay, but we are going to see it not just theoretically, but we will be saying that what how your code is going to be look like before these functions and after using these functions. So the first function is I like. I will be making you understand where exactly you're going to use this. Suppose you have one column suppose you have one table and a big table. You are getting this data from RDBMS to Snowflake. It is having 100 plus columns. Now you only and only want to analyze the date pattern data. It has created date, it has modified date, it has system date, it has end date, start date, and you are only and only looking for your date fields. So if I have to do it in normal SQL, then what I'm going to do is first I'm going to check all these columns, probably going to store that columns result into the Excel and going to filter out all those date columns if those are 10 or 20, and then I'm going to select the column 1, column 2 until column 20 from the table. But in Snowflake, you don't need to do all these things. You just need to select I like and then give your pattern and you are all set. So let's look at it in this, how it's going to be look like. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I have one thing before this. I'm going to write this query, select star from Snowflake. So I'm sure that you must be aware of this sample data. So what I'm going to do is I'm taking the Snowflake sample database, which is TPCHS SF1 schema. And from there, I'm taking three tables, customer, nation, and reason. I'm joining these all these columns. Sorry, I'm joining all these three tables based on this nation key and the reason key. And now, if you will look into the output, I see the customer key, customer name, customer address, nation key, and there I have n nation key, reason key. Suppose my requirement is I need all the key columns here. So if I need to do it in plain SQL, I may be writing like the cust key, the nation key, and nation key like that, right? Still, I may have missed one or two fields, but this is something which gonna take time. So to do it in this Snowflake, what I'm gonna do is I'll write select star, I like, and then I'm going to give a pattern. All right. And I'm just going to use a key. Now, when I use the star ILIKE key, that means Snowflake is going to understand. Snowflake is going to know, basically going to receive this query and will give you all the columns which is having a key pattern. Now, if in the similar way, if you want to go for a date column or if you any other column like say name or ID something, you can simply use this I like and you're all set. Now, if you will look at it, there we do have the C nation key and the nation key, which is same. And here only you wanted to rename something, then this select clause also have one thing which is rename. And here only you can do that the nation key as customer nation, something like that. So you can use this rename also, although we are not going to highlight about it, because you can simply say that, hey, I can simply do the aliasing also. Yes, you can do that, right? So this is how you can save your time, save your efforts with the help of ILIKE. Let's move to the another function, which is exclude. Now, this is going to be very important. Recently, one of my teammate was asking that, hey, I do have 200 plus columns in this table and I only need 190 columns. But the problem is I do not want it to write select column 1, column 2, column 3 until column 190. Do you have any alternative way so that I can only and only like select all these 190 columns? Can we try to, can we please help me with the help of maybe like information schema or tables table or the information schema columns, or you can just give me some kind of a script which I can use it. So the like if you're coming from normal or plain SQL Server background, you know it that okay, there is I mean you may not be familiar with any other way, and you don't want it to spend your time to write a script. So you will be simply saying, hey, or why don't you just write all the columns? But you're too lazy to write all these things. Okay, so in this case, we do have, suppose what I'm gonna do is I have this select star, which is going to give me around 20 or 30 columns here, the customer key, nation, address, nation key, font, account balance. So this is this all data is coming from customer. Why? Because if you will look at my query very closely, then what I have written, I have given select star. That means it is going to bring all the column from customer table, nation table, and the region table. So what I'm going to do is that now after looking at it or after analyzing the output, I know this R comment is not required for me. N comment is not required in my table or like in this output. Also the C comment. And here the nation key is fine and the region key. So but I do have 2 times region key and 2 times nation key. So I need only one nation key, one region key and no comments. So what I can do is I will simply write select star exclude and all the columns which I don't need it. I need only one nation key and also I need one reason key. So if you need only one column, or like if you want to exclude one column or more than one column, you can simply put it into like that. So I'm do not want C comment, N comment, R comment, as well as C nation key and R reason key. So I'm just going to run this query and look at it. So you will see here, C nation key is not visible, N reason key is also not visible, and none of these R comment, N comment, C comment is there. So with the help of exclude, you can save your time. And if you have a big table where you need to list or where you need to exclude couple of columns or you need to select everything except few columns, then you do not need to write select star 1, 2, 3, 4 and like that. Okay. Now the third function we do have in the list is group by all. I'm sure most of like some of you have already worked on it. If not, then let's just look at it. So I do have this line item table again in the same schema and I have written this aggregation. So what I'm going to do is I'm taking the sum of quantities and extended price, and then I have did all this calculation also like sum of extended price minus discount. So I'm calculating the sum quantity, some base price, some discounted price, some charge, average. So I'm doing all these aggregations, but along with that I have few columns which is not in the aggregated list. So if I'm not using, so means those non-aggregated column, and we know if we are performing this group by, then all these non-aggregated column must be in my group by clause, right? But what if you have a complex statement, complex query, and this is something which happened most of your most of the time with you, that you forgot to add the column into the group by clause, and then you got the error, but you wanted to make your code error free, and without looking at it whether you have mentioned 10 column or 20 columns or 30 columns, and you do not wanted to take a look of it how many columns are non aggregated in your queries. So if I have to write this query, so initially this is how it gonna look like, and will give me the output against all those return flag and the line status. But what if there are some other columns and I forgot to add into my group by clause? I'll get the error, right? Suppose I forgot this line status, and if I run it, I see error unexpected order, and right now it's coming because of the comma. But here it may give me that this line item status is select clause is neither an aggregate nor in the group by clause. And this is very common error. I'm like every one of you might be like must have already get it. But so to do it, to ignore this, I can simply use group by all. That means whatever the non-aggregated column in your select query, you just need to replace with all. That's it. Now you see, I haven't listed any return flag or line status. I'm simply writing group by all, and that's it. Okay, so far we have covered I like, exclude, group by all, and I'm sure you're going to use in your day-to-day life. And try to replicate your existing query with these functions. Okay, then next one we have a qualify. So this is again getting very popular, and again I don't think so this function is available in SQL Server or MySQL. It may be, but I have heard so many times, and I have seen it into the Snowflake, and it's in BigQuery also. But you check it whether the database which you're using, it's there or not. So what I'm going to do again in this, I'm taking this customer table, and I wanted to find out the people based on their account balance, whether suppose I just wanted to find out the most rich men. I'm doing based on the nation. So every nation, I just wanted to know who is the guy has the most the maximum account balance. To find out anything like a maximum, second maximum, third maximum, you'll simply like everyone, once you are confident with the rank functions, your always go to solution is that, hey, I will be using row number, and after that I'm going to use that output in my CTE and then going to query it, right? So you have to write, I mean, you're going to write this query in this way, that I'm going to write row number. Once I have find out the rank, then I'm going to find out this Rn equal to 1. So this is going to give me those records. But what if I don't want to use the city? What if I just wanted to write into a simpler query or into a one statement? Then I'm going to replace this row number, going to remove it, and then going to take this query into my qualified clause. So after this on means after this joining this on clause, I am going to rewrite this query in this way. So this is the statement where I have joined it. Okay, but here I'm not gonna use a row number. In place, I have used this qualify, that row number over whatever this row number clause you have written in the above query. You're going to put it into the qualify and then equal to 1, 2, whatever the rank you wanted to know, whatever the result you wanted to know, you can just replace with that number. Now, if I'm going to execute this statement, then this is going to give me the same output. And you can get to know that here, how many queries we are getting 25. And you can say this is Egypt, Indonesia, India. These are the first one. And if I go with this also Egypt, Indonesia, India, 25 we got. So you can validate your results. In fact, the second query is not going to give you RN. Although you can say that, hey, I'm not going to write the star, but again, just think that what if you have multiple columns and you have to remove it. So the better you just go with the qualify clause. Okay, now one of my favorite, which is STRTOK, and I use multiple times. Now, whenever I need to extract any column, from any column, like say any from the string column, suppose I do have some delimited values, so with that some delimited delimiters, sorry, and then I need to extract or I need to convert that one column into two columns, I simply go with the STRTOK. When I was working with the SQL Server back in 2016-17, I used to do all this thing with the help of substring and the char index. Just imagine that you have given a full name, and in the full name you have a first name, middle name, and last name. And your teammate is asking, or your interviewer is asking, hey, can you please convert this full name into the first name, middle name, and the last name? So you would be doing it like, okay, first you are going to find out the space position, then you're gonna write a char index and the substring, like char index with to find out the space position, then substring one comma the position of the space, and then you were going to check the length of the entire string. So that was just a complicated statement. So if you have to find out the middle name, first name, and last name with the help of substring and char index, that is definitely gonna take so much time. But how this str talk made my life very easy. So first understand this select star from users. Well, actually there is one more table, I guess this one I have left it. Or okay, yeah, let's take this data only because I have updated few things in my previous query. So anyways, just imagine that you have given one user table over here, and what they are doing is they are having a log entry which is having a date and time along with the status, whether it is a login success, password change, access denied, account created, logged out successful. So I basically need this log entry as my date column, and I wanted to make it as a separate entry. So means the status should be a separate column, login entry should be a separate column. For that, I'm gonna use this STRTalk, and how this works, you're gonna check this delimiter. For here, delimiter this dash that is the delimiter, and now you look at it. I have this column name is log entry. So understand that when you write STRTalk, this first is going to ask your column name. Then it asks for delimiter, which is the delimiter on which basis you wanted to separate your columns, and then you give a 1, that means it's a first position. Then if you've given a second, then it is a second position. If you have 3, then third position. So look at my query very carefully. What I have written, select star and then str talk, then the column name, which is a log entry, the delimiter, which is dash, and the first position, it's going, I'm to take here the login time. So whatever this, consider this dash, before this dash is going to be first, after that is going to be second, and if there is any third, then you will be mentioning the third one. So here also look at it, strtalk, log entry, and then here I give a 2 as login status, right? So now if I'm going to write it, this one, then see how my output is going to be look like. I do have this log entry column, but from this log entry, I have created these two columns, login time and login status. Now this is a repeated column and I do not want that. Then can I use this exclude log entry. Okay, maybe I need to use this exclude log entry after that. Yes, wait a minute. Okay, now look at it. You can write it. So whatever this exclude we have learned earlier, I'm gonna use it. And then so whatever these columns, I use strtalk, I use exclude, and then now my data looks good. So maybe if I'm gonna use this as a reporting, and suppose just understand this data looks good and all, and you're going to directly you can create a view on top of it, and you can use into your reporting, and you don't have to perform some cleansing over there. Now, this one, Again, in this login time, and if you're looking for that, it should be login date and login time. You wanted to go for it. That also you can do. After that, like you can click on this STRTOK here and then gonna give a space. So your delimiter will be a space and then you can do like that. So that's totally up to you what exactly you need. Okay. Suppose if you're going for full name, then you can just simply write a space and then John will be the first name, Smith would be the last name. Let me actually show it to you very quick. Suppose here, what I can do is strtalk, and here, now this is what I'm gonna write it as f name, and I'm gonna write it as 2 L name. Although we have few things where I can take it as a middle name also, but just consider this one. Now, if you will look at it, John Smith. So basically, we haven't given any space over here. So this is a space. Now, if you're going to write it, and you see this John is coming in the first name and name is coming Fernandez. Now you may be looking for this, why this pin is not coming or Zaun is not coming, because these are the last names. So this Fernandez and the Ling is coming for the middle name. So that's how basically you can utilize these strtalk function to extract the columns from the address or from the status, and so. All right, now the last function we have for today is the result scan. Now, in the Snowflake, whenever you want to check any object, let's say I need to know all the list of the tables, list of the views, list of pipe, list of stages, and all those things, I do run a command show it. Let's go show tables. If you will look at here I have employee, new user, sales, user logs. I do have 5 tables. I do have comment, cluster by, row, bytes, owner, retention time, and all those things. I do not need all those flag columns. I need only the name, the database name, and rows and the bytes. Okay, so basically, results can allow you to use your output. Okay, that's allow you to like to use your output from rerunning. Like basically, it save you from rerunning your long queries, and whatever the output you have in your query, you can use that as further, or basically probably, or and for your analysis. What I mean to say by that, okay, this show tables give you this output. Now I wanted to take some information from here only. So what I'm gonna do is, first I'm gonna use this result scan is a table function. So I'm gonna use table. This is result scan. Now, why I'm using a last query ID? Because whatever the because before this I executed show tables. So from this output only I need it. That's why I have written last query ID. However, if you have any particular query and from that query you want the output, then you will be using this query ID. So last query ID, Snowflake is going to pick automatically the latest result. But if you're going to write it, this query ID, then by default, you are going to basically manually you are passing that from this particular results, I need my, I need to analyze it and I don't want it to re-query again. So in that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write name as table name. I need the database name. I need the schema. I need the kind, and that's it. And okay, sorry, we need the rows also. So here I can write rows, and let's look at it. So when I execute it, it's going to give me only those 5 columns, whatever I have mentioned in my select clause. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed. And if you really enjoyed this video, then please give a thumbs up and subscribe my channel and also share with your friends. Thank you. Have a good day.